Hi, are you interested in joining the Army as a nurse, but you're not sure where to begin? Well, here are 4 things that you need to know before you step foot in a recruiter's office. But first, hi, my name is Shirley, and welcome to my channel, The Part-Time Army RN. On my channel, I'll focus on nursing content, Army content, as well as life abroad. If these are things that interest you, please smash that like button and consider subscribing. Alright, thank you for all your support. I really, truly appreciate each and every one of you. Now, let's get on to the video. Number 1, you need to know which type of recruiter to go to. The Army actually has different types of recruiters. There are enlisted recruiters, there's officer recruiters, as well as medical officer recruiters. And the medical officer recruiter is called an AMED officer recruiter. And so those are the types of recruiters that you need to go to join the Army as a nurse. And so there's different options of joining, whether you're going the ROTC route or if you're going as a direct commission. And so either way, either one that you're choosing to do, the type of recruiter that you need to talk to is actually the AMED recruiter. So there is a caveat. If you are interested in enlisting, then you would want to talk to an enlisted recruiter. If your ultimate goal is to become a registered nurse in the Army, then I would still encourage you to go and talk to the AMED recruiter first before talking to an enlisted recruiter, just to find out your options as far as joining the Army as a nurse. But if you are interested in becoming a nurse after an enlistment, what you could do is enlist as a medic. And then once you finish that enlistment, there are some states that you're able to challenge the LVN board. And so that's not the same as a registered nurse, but it is a type of nursing. Vocational nurse or practical nurse is a type of nursing that there's less of them in a hospital. They work primarily in like long-term care, like a nursing home setting. But it is a type of nursing that you could potentially do without going to college. You can go through an enlistment and then challenge the LVN board. Not all states can do it, so you'll have to look and see if your state is able to do that. And also, after you have finished an enlistment, you will have your GI Bill that you can use. And so then you can use your GI Bill to go to college if you want to go to nursing school and become a registered nurse. And so that's a great option too if you're not 100% sure if you want to be a nurse. If you become a medic first, then you'll have the experience to see if that's the type of setting, type of workplace that you want to actually work full time and do for your career. Number 2, you should know what specialty you want to join as, or if that's something that's important to you. So if you're going in direct commission, which is to say that you are already a nurse or you are about to graduate nursing school, you want to join as a specific specialty, then you may be required to have a couple years or 1 or 2 years experience in that chosen specialty. Now, if you don't have the experience yet, there may be the option to have it in your contract that you will go to a specialized school as part of your initial training to become that specialty. So if that's something that is important to you, that you need to make sure that you tell your recruiter that, because that may or may not be something that they can guarantee, and you may have to go and work in the civilian sector for a year or 2 in that specialty before you can join with that as your specialty. So I'll put a screenshot here of the different specialties that are available. Some include critical care nursing, emergency room nursing. These are things that if you want to join as that type of nurse, you'll usually have to already have that experience in your background when you're direct commissioning. But like I said, potentially there is a way where you can get it worked in your contract where they'll send you to that school, that specialty school. But it depends. It changes every fiscal year about what they have available as an option to do. So you need to make sure that if that's something that's important to you, that you're communicating that with your recruiter, because otherwise when you join, you won't have that specialty guaranteed. Number 3, what incentives are you most interested in when joining the Army? So the incentives differ based on what route that you are joining. So if you are, say, a high school student or you are a college student and you are interested in the Army paying for your school as you're going to school, you may be interested in ROTC. So what ROTC does, they have 2, 3, and even 4-year contracts where the Army will pay for your school as you go. But you will have some requirement to go to the ROTC program courses that they require And then they also do have this really neat program where on the summer, one of your summers, you will go to a 3-week course, a 3-week training, that they pay for, and they will pay for you as you're there. And you will go and you will train in a hospital, an Army hospital, for those 3 weeks. And that could be anywhere in the US or even Germany. So that's a very unique experience that will be separate than what your other clinical requirements are for your nursing program. So this is something that is only available for ROTC students who are in nursing school. They will be able to go to this 3-week course, and the Army will pay you a paycheck while you're there. So that's a very unique opportunity. So if you are already a nurse, or you are graduating soon, as in you don't even have a year left in nursing school before you graduate, then the ROTC will not be an option for you. What you will be looking at is direct commissioning. And there are different incentives for you if you are direct commissioning. So it will depend on what type of specialty that you're joining as well as how long of a contract you are signing. So it's very important to know what is most important for you, because the two main sign-on bonuses, at least what they had when I joined in 2020, is they had student loan repayment. And the student loan repayment, that's called the Healthcare Professional Loan Repayment Program. And so what that is for every year that you're in a reserve, they will pay for a certain amount of your college student loans that you already have. And you cannot have the student loan repayment as well as the bonus, the sign-on bonus. You can't have them both at the same time. You can stack one, like have student loan repayment for the first 3 years and then have the bonus after that, if that's something you're interested in. But unfortunately, if you are interested in bonus and student loan repayment, you can't have them both the same year. And the amount that it caps out at is different based on if you're going active duty or reserve. So reserve, they do pay less of your student loans than what they are willing to pay for active duty contracts. And also, and as far as sign-on bonuses, not all specialties include a sign-on bonus available. So if that's something that's important to you and that's not available that fiscal year, that's just not an option. The only thing that you could do if you still are interested is potentially wait a year, wait for the next fiscal year and see if that changes, if they add it or not. But unfortunately, that's not a bonus that is included for everybody. It's only certain MOSs that are available. And it changes, like I said, every fiscal year. So it's important to know which bonuses or incentives you are most interested in when you're joining, and if these are things that are a deal or no deal when you're talking to your recruiter. Number 4, you should know if you want to go active duty or reserve. This is a huge topic, and I plan to make my video for next week on this topic, so that will be more detailed as in the pros and the cons versus active duty. But for this video purposes, it's important for you to just know before you talk to your recruiter which one you want, because a recruiter has a mission that they go by. They have like so many people that they need for reserve, so many people that they need for active duty. And if you go in and you're not sure which one that you want, that recruiter may be playing up or selling you the one that they are trying to fill that they haven't been able to fill. So that's why it's important to know which one you're most interested in. That way you can tell them, okay, I'm more interested in going active duty, or I'm more interested in going reserve. So that way they focus their conversation knowing that that's what you want. And so they're not trying to sell the other one necessarily to you. Whereas if you go in not sure which way you want to go, they may kind of persuade you into going to what they need, and then that you may not ultimately be happy because you were persuaded and didn't even necessarily realize how much you were persuaded until you get there. And like I said, I'll go more into detail the pros and cons, but I think it's very important to know which you want going in the door. So these are the 4 things that you need to know before stepping into a recruiter office. You need to know which recruiter to talk to. You need to know which specialty that you are wanting to join as, or if that's something that's important to you. You should know which incentives you are most interested in, and if that's a deal breaker. And lastly, you should know whether you're most interested in the reserve or if you're interested in active duty. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button and comment down below and tell me which tip you felt was most helpful, as well as comment any further questions you have or if there's topics that you would be interested in me covering in the future. Thank you all for your continued support. Bye!